Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The North Ridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today is Monday, August 18th, 2025. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, we come together this evening in gratitude as summer vacations come to an end, particularly this week as many students and teachers head back to the classrooms. We ask you for a safe and healthy school year. We pray for patience and safe travels throughout the city as we all adjust to the additional school-related traffic on the roads and we settle into new daily routines. As always, we thank you for the wonderful community in which we live, and we pray in your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, as liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Here.
Schaefer.
Here.
Avens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Awig.
Here.
DeVries.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Law Director.
Here.
City Engineer.
Here.
Finance Director. Here. Clerk of Council. Here.
On tonight's agenda, under the approval of minutes, we have a copy of council has received a copy of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes dated August 4th, 2025. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved as submitted. We also have a copy of the regular City Council meeting minutes, which are also dated August 4th, 2025. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved. That'll bring us to our lobby session. The lobby session is the portion of our meeting in which the public is allowed an opportunity to address City Council as well as the administration. We do ask anybody wishing to speak this evening to speak from the podium, and from the podium only, please. I will ask you to begin by stating your name and address for the record, at which time you will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak regarding matters pertaining to the business of City Council or the general affairs of the City of North Ridgeville. And also as a reminder, our lobby session is not intended to be an interactive question and answer session, but we do welcome any feedback, and depending on the nature of your comments, a council member may contact you. At this time, the lobby session is now open. Do we have anybody in attendance who wishes to address council this evening? Okay. Seeing none. Oh, we do have one. Okay. Sir, go ahead. If you could state your name and address.
Absolutely. First of all, good evening. My name is Bernard Garcia. I'm a North Ridgeville resident. I live at 7324 Root Road. I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak in front of you guys again. First and foremost, my first point, congratulations to all the people, visitors, and vendors, and the community in celebrating another successful corn festival. Secondly, completely different direction here. I did some more research and some more thought into the North Ridgeville Community Improvement Corporation, how it could affect this city, its decision-making process, and how it could potentially grab some power from people in City Council. I come forward today stating why I think this is a bad idea. Here are some of my reasons for having this position on this matter. In my opinion, after reading some of the information, this will give the power to some, and these people can appoint people to the CIC who are completely powerless because there's a majority. This gives the illusion that others have a say, but their voices will be completely and utterly silenced by the majority that appointed them. Second of all, what is the point of having a planning commission and a master plan if we're just going to bypass it and have a CIC that potentially makes decisions that takes place of those? I do not think that's fair. I think a lot of those same decisions and processes have got us into trouble as a city, and that's why we have more homes than relevant businesses and things that we may need. I feel, in my opinion, that this could potentially bypass you guys as City Council. You guys are elected officials. It could potentially silence you and the concerns of the people, both Republican and Democrat. This is Ohio. This is not Soviet Russia. Second of all, with the CIC, or continuing with the CIC, is this just a shell company that the city can use to deflect any financial responsibilities or pass the buck? How long before we see this thing franchised and we have CIC number 2, number 3, number 4? Continuing on the CIC, this is nothing more, in my opinion, than a shield of legal house of cards. That if the city does wrong, they can blame this on the entity and absorb the blow from any accountability and wrongdoing. They can blame the CIC, wash their hands of it, and give no resolution to the general public. Lastly, I would like to direct your attention to the Ridgeville Ready 2024 Master Plan. While I am new to these types of things, I'm trying to educate myself as a citizen, someone involved in the politics. This master plan was originally introduced by several people in this room and signed off as well. On page 17 of the document, there's 6 goals. That's the whole purpose of having that document. And one of them is providing responsible and accountable leadership. City leaders must continue to dedicate resources required to realize the community's vision and future potential. This means working closely with residents, businesses, government, and partners, and community organizations in a transparent and collaborative way. I do not feel that the CIC does this. It completely contradicts this goal of the Ridgeville Ready 2024 Master Plan. So members of council, I would urge you for the protection of your own freedoms and abilities, as well as supporting the Republicans and Democrats who support you, to vote no or against anything related to this. Thank you for your time this evening. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for being here and sharing your thoughts. Is there anybody else in attendance this evening who wishes to address council? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to administrators' reports. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I begin my report, I want to address a comment from our last meeting. I will not let any statement go unanswered when it demeans the people who serve this city. One council member described our city as a rat hole and claimed taxpayers were paying Gucci prices for Dollar Tree services. Our city is a great place to live, work, and play, and attracts people from all over. Our employees work hard every day to serve our residents, and they do it with distinction. The leaders who run our departments manage millions of taxpayer dollars, keep us in compliance with state and federal law, and deliver critical services. I will not stand by while their integrity or professionalism is attacked. Disagree with me? Debate policy. Question spending? Suggest improvements. But personal attacks on the city or the people who serve it accomplishes nothing. We are here to do the people's business, not trade insults. That standard starts now, and it will guide every meeting going forward. There are several pieces of legislation that are on the agenda. You'll hear some reasons as to why we'll ask for the emergency clause from several of the people sitting over here. Wanted to point out that our Public Works Department Streets Division finished up Bagley last week, and they'll be adding pavement markings to the road in the near future. But for now, please take care while you're traveling through the area. Our water meter replacement project has moved on to notification letters to the accounts starting with 107, 111, 114 through 123. And when you receive your letter, please make your appointment to have your meter replaced as soon as possible. The Parks and Recreation Fall Program schedule is out and registration is underway. Please visit their webpage for the list of programs and to register. As the council president noted, school resumes Thursday of this week. You'll see an increase in traffic throughout the city, and you'll see walkers and bike riders also out and about. And of course, there's also those big giant yellow school buses that seem to have a little bit of trouble for some people to see. But we do not pass those when lights are flashing and the stop arm is in place, or you will receive a ticket and a moving violation if you do so. Speed limit in school zones is 20 miles per hour during the times of opening and closing of schools. Please pay attention to that and watch out for all the students and other drivers, especially our younger drivers, as they begin going back to school. And while we're talking about the schools, we had a pretty decent attendance. I was pretty surprised by some of it, actually. A lot of people showed up for the different events that were happening this past Friday for their kickoff events, including the groundbreaking, which is an awesome opportunity for this city to grow and move forward, and also for the residents, but most importantly for the kids and their future education. So it was a nice event for everybody. City Hall offices will be closed on Monday, September 1st in observance of Labor Day. And that means this particular holiday creates a one-day delay on trash collection, so it will move to Wednesday, September 3rd. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Through the chair.
City Engineer,
Through the chair.
Mr. Schaefer, now's not the appropriate time. I will leave a time at the end of the meeting if you'd like to comment. Would that be okay? Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
City
President.
Engineer.
As noted in the first readings, under Resolution 2025-118, engineering would like to make application with OPWC for the asphalt resurfacing of Mills Road from Stony Ridge at the new roundabout to the State Route 83 roundabout. Construction is estimated at $500,000. Applications are due at the beginning of September for the 2026 fiscal year funding. Therefore, I'd like to request an emergency passage of the resolution. Our catch basin rehabilitation is nearing completion. Once they are finished with the concrete work and the weather has cooled down a bit, they will be able to do the final grading and place the seating. Our full depth project is underway and the contractor has been working on the rehabilitation of Oak Street. They are working in sections to try to accommodate the local traffic in as much as possible. We do appreciate the consideration of the local residents there. We are hopeful to have this street wrapped up in the next week or two and proceed with the remaining streets. The kickoff meeting for the crack sealing is later this week, and I anticipate work to begin shortly after that for the traffic, for the crack sealing. The roadway resurfacing project for Luann, Caroline, and Monica is currently underway. Paving operations started last week. Some of the concrete work is planned for this week, including curb replacement and some storm sewer catch basin adjustments. Finally, engineering collected bids today for the traffic paint project and received 2 agreeable bids, so we can expect to get that awarded to the contractor as soon as possible. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Director of Finance.
Thank you, Council President. In advance of this meeting, I provided council and the mayor with a memorandum outlining the appropriation amendment before you this evening. This budget amendment includes items such as the installation of an epoxy floor at Fire Station 2, repairs to a fire ladder truck, the replacement of Windows 10 computers, which are at end of life, the configuration and support of the AV system in council chambers, which also supports Mayor's Court, and various personnel-related expenditures. I'd like to ask council to consider adopting this legislation tonight with the emergency clause to assure that the Department of Finance has the resources necessary to meet our obligations. In addition, on your agenda tonight shows the June 2025 financial report as being distributed. Just this afternoon, the Finance Department issued the July 2025 financial report for council's review. The report will be available for review on the city's website by week end. Under the department's drop-down, finance reports and financial information is where these reports can be found. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. In addition to the June 2025 financial report, Council has also received the July 2025 water distribution and EPA report. Yes, to recess.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
move to
Winkle.
dispense with recess.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with recess this evening. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say yes.
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 All opposed, say no. Recess has been dispensed. Under first readings, we have Resolution 2025-118.
A resolution authorizing the city engineer to make application on behalf of the city of North Ridgeville to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the Mills Road Rehabilitation Project, further authorizing funds for the local match, further authorizing the mayor to accept the funding if awarded, and to execute a contract with the Ohio Public Works Commission.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Abens to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-118. Are there any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause to this as we have a deadline, as noted by the city engineer.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to add the emergency clause to 2025-118 in order to meet the deadline. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed say no. It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to adopt 2025-118 with the emergency clause in place. Are there comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Abens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-118 has been adopted.
Up next is ordinance 2025-119.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2024-139 of the City of North Ridgeville, Ohio, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2025.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-119. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say yes. Yes. All opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated earlier by the Director of Finance.
Second.
The motion was made by DeVries and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2025-119 for the reasons stated earlier in the meeting by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes. All opposed say no. It was then moved by DeVries and seconded by Awig to adopt 2025-119 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Abens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-119 has been adopted.
2025-120.
An ordinance authorizing an amendment to increase the amount needed for construction of ordinance number 2025-83 with the Dries Company to perform drainage improvements to benefit the State Route 83 right-of-way and the abutting residents in the area south of crossings at French Creek.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Abens to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-120. Are there comments or questions?
Through the chair.
Yes, Mr. Schaefer.
Why?
Mr. President, I'd like our city engineer to chime in on that, please.
City engineer, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I neglected to mention in my report earlier, I had wanted to. As you recall, we had approved this ordinance several weeks ago regarding the storm sewer extension along 83 that was in connection with the Dries Homes residential development there at the crossings at French Creek. Construction was underway several weeks ago, and we ran into a 16-inch water line alignment issue on the water main. It took a significant turn that we were unaware of, and we had to kind of pull back and basically redesign the alignment for the extended storm sewer. So this will take care of the redesign and the new construction costs.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any additional comments or questions?
Through the chair, I'm confused. Are we just discussing the emergency clause, or are we discussing the actual legislation itself?
The motion was made to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-120. So, I mean, any questions related to this legislation are appropriate now.
Okay.
Do we have any additional comments or questions?
Through the chair,
Mr. Schaefer?
as I understand it, the city's being asked to put money into this, is that correct?
In looking at and reading the legislation, it looks like it would cost an additional $30,000, I believe is what the number was. Is that?
According to my search on the internet, Dries is a $500 million company. Why did they need taxpayer dollars? If they made a mistake, shouldn't they fix it?
Well, I appreciate that comment. I don't think they made a mistake. I think the problem with the drainage in that area existed before Dries ever took ownership of that property where they're building, and this was something that I believe the city would have had to have paid for and repaired themselves regardless. And I think actually in this case, Dries is contributing to the project, whereas, so they're actually helping the city out, I think.
Yeah,
But correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd like to add to that, Mr. President. So we had this allocated on the books last year without the presence of Dries. So this was a storm sewer project that we had already anticipated, and it just happened to come to fruition as Dries was doing their design. We took advantage of some land that they made available for us so that we didn't have to acquire an easement from another private property owner. So they are actually contributing to the bottom line of the project, but most of the work is to enhance the State Route 83 right away, and we are contributing those funds.
Who is contributing how much?
Originally, the contract was 90,000 was our share, and then I didn't bring those numbers with me, but I think it was an additional 30,000.
Yeah. The 120,000 that this ordinance is requesting has already been approved by council and is available.
Yeah, Mr. President, could I just point out that we did discuss this several weeks ago when we approved the initial ordinance. So this is not the first time that you've heard about this. And we're just asking for some additional money to complete the work because of the water line that was not documented to be where it is. So we've already agreed to move forward with this process. All we're asking for is some $30,000 additionally to complete it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President,
Mrs. Swing?
if I can ask the engineer, I noticed they poured the sidewalks. Is that going to affect the sidewalks?
This is actually south of
The other side?
Dries development, so it's proceeding south of their development
Okay.
along 83 is where we ran
Those sidewalks
into.
look nice, so I,
No, we made sure that we wouldn't be ripping any additional work out. so.
okay, thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. Avens, yes.
I would also like to point out what we're doing here is correcting a previous situation before Dries started the development. This is actually going to help those residents prior to the development, rather than those residents in the development.
As-
So-
If I may.
Yes.
As we discussed a couple weeks ago, maybe it's months ago now, we had a large stormwater drainage discharge that was going onto private property just south of the Dries home development. Mr. Frank Cotis, who had previously came to express his concerns to council about this right-of-way drainage that was draining through his private property. So this is part of that project, cleaning that issue up and rerouting it through the Dries property that they have given us through an easement.
Being a member of the Planning Commission, one of the objectives of that particular project was to improve the drainage of the properties south of that project. And as far as I can tell so far, they're succeeding.
Yes, this would benefit many people in this area.
Thank you to both of you. Any additional questions or comments related? So again, to repeat the motion, it was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to dispense with the second and third readings for 2025-120. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second?
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause so that way we can continue with this project and improve the drainage in that area.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to add the emergency clause to 2025-120 for the reasons just stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to adopt 2025-120 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
No.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
By a vote of 6-1, motion carries and 2025-120 has been adopted.
We do not have any second readings on tonight's agenda. Under third readings, we have ordinance 2025-111.
An ordinance accepting certain streets and improvements located in Waterbury subdivision number 9 and dedicating them for public purposes.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mrs. Swink.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Swink and seconded by Abens to adopt 2025-111. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Abens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2025-111 has been adopted.
Through the chair.
Just 1 second, please. The next regular city council meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 at 7 PM here in council chambers. That meeting will be held on Tuesday due to the Labor Day holiday on Monday. At this time, do any members of council have any final comments this evening? Mr. Schaefer, I think you do.
I was at the Corn Festival, and I spoke to somebody, they asked me a very provocative question. Why is it that people who have a $50,000 or a $100,000 house, being asked to pay more taxes to subsidize somebody in a $500,000 house? And I thought that was a good question. I thought, if you're making that kind of money to buy a $500,000 house, you should be able to not have to rely on other people. And I also believe that these developers should probably contribute more than they are now. I did, however, find a mechanism whereby the developers could contribute. I found something called an impact fee. The definition being an impact fee is a one-time charge imposed on new development by local governments to help pay for the cost of infrastructure and public services. These fees are intended to ensure that new development does not unduly burden existing residents. And I would repeat that. New development doesn't unduly burden existing residents. Why can't we do something like that here?
Mr. Schaefer, my understanding of impact fees are that they have to benefit the community, the area that is being developed specifically. Is that
Correct.
okay?
Like if you wanted to build, say, a fire station, that would be an example of why you would do an impact fee. If a new development needed a fire station, it would seem like we should have something to get these developers to pay their fair share and not impose another tax on the taxpayer.
Oh, I understand your point. And I think it's a fair point. I don't know the answer to your question as far as why we currently do not have them here.
Do we have the ability to have our outside counsel who drafted the document in the CIC to research this for us?
Law Director, do you want to answer that as far as?
I think that the council that was used for the CIC, his specialty is in an area that's outside the scope of that. I don't know if what he knows covers impact fees.
Okay. I'd also like to clarify the mayor's incorrect statement. When I was discussing Gucci prices, I was speaking specifically and only to the mayor's salary increases, which what we were talking about. I believe you got a 9% salary increase. And where I come from, you get a salary increase if you do a good job. You don't get one just basically, you know what I'm saying? So I was not in any way, shape, or form talking about anybody else other than the mayor. When I used the term rat hole, I was referring to the gateway project that so many of our constituents have complained about, solely and only about that project. I would suggest the mayor go back and read the transcripts and get a better understanding of what he's talking about before he starts criticizing people.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Any other council members have any
Yes.
comments this evening?
Go ahead.
Mrs. Awig.
Okay, I would like to give a shout out to the Public Works Department in our city. Last week, a resident noticed wet pavement on a residential street in the evening. The problem was assessed, and several guys in the Public Works Department spent all night fixing the water main leak or break. They then finished the job by resealing the lawn that had been disturbed. I think the residents on that particular street were thankful the neighbor saw something and said something. They also were very thankful that we have a Public Works Department that cares enough to not quit until the job is done. They did an excellent job as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Mrs. Awig. Mr. DeVries, I think you,
Yes, Mr. President, both you and the mayor have mentioned that Thursday is back to school day, and it's a very exciting time for a lot of kids, a lot of young drivers. I would ask, residents to talk to their children that are driving to school to leave ahead, leave a lot of time, be prepared, practice patience. There may be a little bit of chaos because there's lots of construction going on, and again, you've got young drivers. So parents, please talk to your children. It's very important that they give themselves enough time so they're not panicked and hurrying, and we'll work through this as we get through the construction of this new school. But again, I'm praying for all of them. Thank you.
thank you, Mr. DeVries. Any additional comments from council?
Mr. President,
Mr. Abens?
I would like to clarify what happened at the last meeting and make sure that our employees understand that most of the members on this council do not believe that they are getting Gucci wages, that they are paid competitive wages, and council makes sure of that when ordinances are considered and passed. And also, they do not, the city gets very good services out of our different departments. It is not general store services. My experience has been with all of our departments, police, fire, service, recreation. Services have always been top-notch and fast to respond. And I've had, quite frankly, just the other night, our street was having a block party, and a new resident walked up to me and said, "North Ridgeville is a great community. I love it here." And his experience was Euclid, and his wife's was Chagrin Falls. And also his job takes him to Northwest Ohio and southern Michigan. And he said, North Ridgeville is a great place to live. Again, I want to send our employees the message that this council supports them and in no way wants to see them reduce their wages. Quite frankly, I don't want to lose any more employees like we do. We train them, and we do such a good job that the other communities rate our departments constantly for employees because they know North Ridgeville does a good job. And we do not, and those other communities pay their employees more than we do. And I appreciate the loyalty that our employees show North Ridgeville. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abens. Any additional council members that haven't already spoken? Have any comments? Nope.
Through the chair, I'd like to,
Mr.
while
Schaefer.
we're doing the shout-outs, I stayed after the Corn Festival for the Corn Festival after party, and I wanted to compliment all those employees on doing such a fantastic job of managing the Corn Festival. I spoke to them briefly and complimented them on their performance, and I think they and also our city employees do a fabulous job in this city. And I would like to encourage Mr. Abrams to go back and read the minutes of what I actually said rather than what he heard.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Any additional comments or questions? All right, hearing none, everybody enjoy the upcoming holiday, and this meeting is adjourned.